I wanted to answer this question. Somebody asked me a question. Why do older guys like me stay single? But first, let me characterize this question. There's different types of older guys. Um, there's the older guy that don't really take care of himself, that don't believe in self-preservation, out of shape, medical issues, problems, or maybe some psychological issues. And then there's guys like me that are more motivated, stay in shape, work out all the time, have taken pretty good care of their finances, have not been raked over the court in divorce court and financially ruined. That's why I was able to retire early. There's different tiers of guys. But a lot of guys, especially my age, I'm 49 years old, they've had it. They've been uh, divorced, raped, financially ruined, or has been through relationships that were traumatic and experienced the family court, probably experienced parental alienation, and don't want really the government or the legal system back involved in their lives. And that's a huge factor because, see, those who feel it have known it. Those who feel it know it. So they have the experience of going through the legal system. They understand that marriage is a business. And the church, I know you religious folks and all that stuff, and just me the right person, whatever. Judge Mathis thought he met the right person. He's going for a divorce after 39 years. It's just a situation where all marriages end either in death or divorce. So we got guy right now, the gray divorce is the highest divorce rate. And guys are seeing that. I mean, I'm not trying to get at women, but women reserve the right to change their mind. And in the era of social media, where everybody's on this happiness kick, and I want to make a video about that. Marriage is not about happiness; is your personal responsibility. Marriage or relationships are just an addition to your happiness. You know, nobody's responsible for making you happy. They're certainly not responsible for making you miserable either. So you have to pick right. It's better to get it right the first time. Men and women were designed to be together. Get it right the first time. And that's what I tell all the young men. Pick right the first time. And even then, it's still a flip of the coin. So it's just what it is. So what happens inevitably, let's get back to number one. Guys that went through the system. Maybe they have some bitter feelings from that. Maybe they have some issues. Maybe they've been financially ruined. Two, guys not taking care of their health, their well-being. They're suffering medically. Maybe their performance is down. Maybe they don't care about sex. Maybe they don't care about any of that stuff. And they just want to hang out and be alone with their dogs. And that's unfortunately what we have here in the society, especially in the West. And number three, you really got to understand that most guys, when they understand how the system works, they get smart. They realize that there's no benefit for a man to get into a marriage, especially maybe a cohabitation situation, but keeping the government out of your relationship, because it only benefits the woman. And I know women are going to say, well, there's women that have money and there's women that would. No, that's not true. Because what happens inevitably is that most guys don't want to take on other people's responsibilities. Like, let's say a guy like me who's 49 years old. You don't want to take on nobody else's kids. I've raised my boys. I've had situations where I've been married. I've had the whole cost of living with the household. I've had like 4 or 5 cars out there, paying car insurance on 4 or 5 cars, freaking private school tuition, the works. So, you know, friendships are good. Companionship is good. But nobody wants to take on, once you've done it and been through it and experienced this peace and this freedom, you don't want to take on the legal responsibilities of that. You certainly won't want to take on anybody else's kids. No, most women my age, I'm 49 years old, many of them have young kids that they're still raising, or that kid that's still hanging out in the basement that they got to take care of. And I respect every woman. Their kids are their number one priority. My boys, even though they're grown men, are my number one priority if they need me. But they're independent and they're doing well. But I'm certainly not going to take on anybody's financial problems, anybody's parental responsibilities. If I decide I want to go down to the Boys and Girls Club and volunteer to help the kids out, I do that. And I have done that. But I'm not going to feel like I'm obligated to be taking care of another man's problems, period. And like I said, well, what do you do about lonely? I'm never alone. Trust me. I am never alone. And for most of you guys, you're not even alone. Your ass is just horny. Horniness is just loneliness turned upside down. Because most guys right now, the worst thing going on right now is post-nut clarity and the trauma that comes from that. Because when you realize that you just had sex with an empty vessel, and then you feel that they look and you see all of her problems, all of her death, all of her expenses, and whatever else. So a lot of times men don't want to be responsible for other people's mismanagement of their life, mismanagement of their finances, mismanagement of their uterus, mismanagement of their relationship. And let's be honest, when you're 49 years old, there's not a lot of people that take good care of themselves. There's women that literally, especially in the Black community, no disrespect to all you sisters, but obesity is a factor. A lot of women don't feel like men should accept them the way they are. They don't love us the way we are, but they can walk around here all, wearing the scars and mileage of time. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect either. I got my issues. That's why I'm out here walking in the park. But they wear the scars of time. They don't look like they really care about themselves. So if you are a guy that takes care of yourself, they say, well, you can find somebody that does that, whatever. But the question is, why would that person be single? In this environment that we have right now, where all of these women are out here, with social media, thinking they, are floating in the clouds, why is she single? She looks so good. There's something going on there. You know what I mean? It's not like men. The average men like myself, women think are ugly and disgusting. So if a woman is floating on cloud nine, she has a bunch of options, men trying to get at her. So why haven't anybody taken her up on that option? Maybe there's something going on there. You have to ask yourself the question. I'm not making a blanket statement. You just gotta figure out each individual, take them day by day. So a lot of guys don't want to deal with that nonsense. They don't want to deal with ball-busting feminists. They don't want to deal with irritating, annoying women who, one, cannot fall under the leadership of a man, two, are just simply annoying, irritating. And I always use the analogy, if I can't get into an RV with you and ride from the Northeast all the way down to Florida without jumping in the Potomac, I don't want to be bothered long term with women. And you say, well, people say, well, what about dying alone? How can you die alone unless you're a person that's antisocial and a derelict? Companionship is great for those who have personality like myself. I'm never alone. I've always got people around me, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's community. I'm never alone, period. That's just the way it is. And that's the way I move. I'm never alone. There's always people. I have tons of friends and people around me. Whatever people feel I isolate, that's on them. That's not my problem. So that's really what it comes down to. And men understand the importance of self-preservation. They understand the importance of protecting their peace. Don't get me wrong. Men and women were designed to be together. If you meet a unicorn, congratulations. Let's go for the last thing. Going younger. Younger women want kids, period. A lot of them want kids, unless they don't. You maybe find that 1% or 2% that want kids. They don't want kids. But why would younger woman be messing with an older man? Resources. And, well, to be honest with you, even the old women want resources. That's another thing. You got women that are older, that are like my age, talking about they want a provider, a man. You 49 years old. You've been out here married, divorced, whatever. Why don't you have your own money? No disrespect to women. Provider man is MSRP. That comes for young virgins. Yeah, you want a provider man to pay 100% of the bills? I want a virgin. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you'll be like, you smoking dope today, Peaceful Life. You're smoking dope today. You're old. She's old too. You got to have your own money. If you don't have your own money, I'm not paying for no old ass woman. If you want me to pay all the bills, then I might as well go ahead and go get me a young woman somewhere. And then, okay, fine. I could justify paying all the bills. Fine. It's not like it's not about what I can afford it or not. I'm just not going to pay 100% of the bills. What's the point of having you around if I got to pay 100% of the bills and you've been out here for all these years just like me and you don't got no money? You got a financial problem that you need to go seek counseling for, because a woman my age should not be broke. Period. Something's wrong with you. Okay, what is wrong with you? You can't save your money. You can't manage your finances. I'm not looking for any dependence at my age. And especially if you're close to my age or anywhere, are you an adult? You expect women to be an adult, have their own resources, to take care of themselves. That doesn't mean you have to be making an exorbitant amount of money, but that comes with being an adult. And that's where the problem comes in, is that there's an unreasonable expectations for men, especially here in the West. And it's like a traditional expectation for non-traditional women. And that's why a lot of guys are like, hell no. You know what? How about I come visit you from across town and we can get along. We can go along and get along, share whatever vacation trips and travel together. And I know women are going to come and say, well, whatever. Shame me all you want. I don't give a damn. But that's the problem. And that's why a lot of guys are deciding when they're older, they've established their life, there really is no incentive. That's really what it comes down to. There's just no incentive for men, especially my age, to get into these relationships with these women, especially when you have grown adult kids and you've already paid your dues. So let me know what you guys think about the topic. Peace and blessings. And make sure you hit the like button. We'll talk. I'm out.